Good morning and happy eve of this blue moon. This is Chef Kathryn with Vivacious Dish, and I'm so glad to be joining you once again to talk a bit about what's happening in our planetary world and then to guide you through a meditation. This meditation today is going to be centered around leaning into any sort of feelings of negative emotions or fears or potentially sadness that might be coming up. This is a bit of a heavy blue moon at the moment. But we're going to lean into that and then move through that into a place of much more joy in the journey of self-discovery. So as I mentioned, given the planetary positions right now with the moon in relation to those, you might be feeling, especially if you're sensitive to lunar energy, some fears coming up, some anxiousness. Perhaps you find yourself kind of falling back into patterns of negative thinking. This can be very common. It's nothing to be worried about, but it is an invitation for us to, like I said, lean into that. Really, instead of shying away from that or trying to squash that, it's really an opportunity for us to get cozy with all expressions of ourselves, all the feelings that we encounter throughout our lives. And instead of trying to push those down or make them go away, we have this opportunity to just get cozy with it, take some time to reflect, to go within, and then to find that beautiful joy in that journey of self-discovery and in that acceptance of all expressions of ourselves. We also at this time find ourselves in a period of Mercury retrograde. Excuse me. For many of that can mean that, for many of us, that can mean that we might be feeling like communication is breaking down. Maybe that just happened here with me. It's not being able to speak as clearly as we might want to, or we might be used to being able to do. This can also mean some tensions in relationships. Sometimes we find with those communication breakdowns that we're trying to interact with someone and it just feels strained or tense in different ways. Technology might have challenges. This is often a time where computers and phones and things don't work for different reasons. And then sometimes there's also like a clumsiness, just like dropping things or losing things, all of this sort of energy. And the way I look at Mercury retrograde, these periods typically last about a month and they happen 3 times throughout the year. And they really are this invitation for us to kind of slow down, take a deep breath, relax when things aren't working instead of getting frustrated and anxious around that, to just be like, okay, what can I learn from this experience? What might I be able to do to just kind of slow the pacing, to not be in such a rush, to not be potentially so reliant on technology, and just be still and present with myself. So it's kind of this process of relaxing into the energies that are part of our world, and even if we can use them to our advantage, there's opportunity there. So with those intentions in mind, I'd love for us now to drop in and we'll go through a guided meditation. We're coming up on the season of Easter, which historically and in more pagan traditions was around birth of new life. So these symbols of chicks and eggs and rabbits and bunnies and all of these things are really related to fertility, to birthing new things in our lives. So we're going to allow a little bit of that new life energy to help guide us in the start of our journey, and then we'll spend some time kind of moving through those fears and anxieties and that feeling of hurry or sadness or loneliness into a place of more joy. So with those in mind, I invite you now to drop in. You can close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths and really get present with yourself. Maybe you're coming into this place in time already with a sense of some frustrations or challenges, or maybe just a little bit of heaviness, and all is well. Just send yourself a little love and say, I accept myself, how I am right in this moment, all expressions of myself. I invite you now to welcome a little brown rabbit into your plane of vision. And smile when you see him. He's really cute. Nice little symbol of the springtime of fertility. And Rabbit's going to guide us now down, down, down through the rabbit hole. Maybe you go under the roots of a tree trunk or into the earth, whatever feels right for you. We're actually going to enter into the world below, into the animal world. So Rabbit's guiding you there. Just allow yourself to follow the rabbit. Trust him. He knows where he's going. He's going to take us down, 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 down through his hole. And as you come through that hole, you're going to emerge now into a meadow. It's early morning. It's very dark and damp and maybe even a little bit ominous feeling. The first light hasn't really peeked through the clouds yet. It's a little bit chilly, but you're starting to see the cloud cover in the sky. It's kind of a damp and misty morning. The clouds, you can see them. There might be a heaviness. It's a little bit cool. Just take a couple deep breaths and allow yourself to be in this place. It's not necessarily fully comfortable, but you also feel that in the mystery, there's something that can be discovered there that's for you. So just allow yourself to keep walking through that meadow, kind of moving smoothly in flow through those clouds. You're kind of one with them. You can feel them. They're a little bit cool on your skin, the moisture in the air. It washes over you. Just allow yourself to keep walking through that meadow. You're following rabbits still. Rabbits guiding you. It's hard to tell and make out with all the clouds and mist, kind of that which surrounds you. But at the same time, you can trust. You can trust that this journey through this damp darkness is good, that there's things for you here, that you're safe to go on this journey, and you have your rabbit, the rabbit that's helping you to see that even through this darkness and dampness, there's opportunities for fertility and new life, and it's all just part of the cycles and processes. So just keep moving through that meadow, keep trusting, keep leaning in, and as you keep going, rabbit actually leads you. All of a sudden, you're standing on the edge of a lake, and it's quite a large lake. It's a sandy, kind of flat shore, and there's no movement on the water, so it's a completely smooth reflection. And rabbit now scampers off. He's done his work. He's led you to this lake. This is exactly where you're supposed to be, and it still feels quite cool there. You can feel kind of the water and a very, very, very faint breeze as it moves across the lake, and it kind of chills your skin. It's okay. You can allow that coldness to be there. It's no problem. You can handle it. You can handle the cold. And as you walk to the shore of the lake, the very edge where the water's starting to kiss the sand, you might even put just the tips of your toes in the lake, and it might be freezing, but at the same time, it makes you feel full and alive and connected to all of life, even in this unknown place. And as you look down into the lake, you see your reflection there, and it might take you by surprise. Sometimes when we see our reflection, we notice things that we might want to quickly glance away. Oh, I don't like that part of myself, or I don't like that thought or feeling. But now is an opportunity to just let those judgments go and just really look at yourself and to see all of yourself with clarity and truth. There's nothing wrong here. All the perceived good and bad, it's neither. It's just you. It's all expressions of yourself and your joy and your sadness and your struggle and your triumph. All of those things are part of you, and it's beautiful. So spend all the time you need just glancing at your reflection and allow the truth of who you are in this moment to wash over you and to penetrate all of your being, and just send complete love and acceptance to every aspect of yourself, everything that you see in that reflection. No judgments, just fully you. Right now, however you're showing up in the world, all is well. As you keep gazing at that reflection, you notice in your peripheral vision that this beautiful, long-winged blue heron is coming at you over the lake. And blue heron brings a message of joy in the discovery process. So as you're spending this time on the edge of the lake, leaning in and really reflecting in the truth of yourself and all that you are, and maybe even getting some nods of areas that you'd like to work to be different in. Not because they're bad, but because you know for yourself that you want to experience and perceive the world just slightly differently. You desire a change in that regard. Well, that's great too. We can always work for growth and new experiences and new expressions. That's also part of the spring season. So As blue heron flies overhead, he drops one of his beautiful blue feathers down for you. And as you catch it in your hand and hold it in front of your chest, you can just feel this beautiful wash of truth and of joy come over you. And as that joy washes over you, and as the heron flies off once again into the distance, you can see this first sunbeam starting to break through the clouds. And as the sun starts to warm the mist around you over the lake, there's more brightness and openness and joy in the arena and in the expression of the entire world around you. And as you look down once more to your reflection, you can see sunniness and brightness, and you can smile as you look at yourself, because here you are standing still in your truth. Nothing has changed in this moment in time, except for that some of those clouds have parted, but it really has to do just with your outlook, right? So moving beyond the heaviness and fear and worry about leaning in to this place of joy in the self-discovery process, and asking questions like, what can I learn from myself? What can these fears teach me? How can I lean in? What actions can I take to perceive the world in a different way? And all of those questions spark and ignite excitement. There's so much discovery and wonder to be had in this process. So feel free to take a few more breaths and just kind of bask in the joy of this new perspective as you gaze into your reflection on this lake. And just have that awareness that you're connected to all of life, that all cycles of life ebb and flow, and it's always this circle of darkness to light, discovery to going within once more, openness and introspection, and sometimes heaviness and then joy once again. It's all part of us in our human experience. All is well, and so just savor that, enjoy that, lean in, trust yourself, trust your internal journey. Maybe just give yourself one more smile and nod, full acceptance and love as you gaze at your reflection. And then Bunny has appeared once more on the shore, and hop, 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 follow after the rabbit. And he's going to guide you back to that tree trunk or to the rabbit hole. And you can climb back up and out with this new awareness. Bring your feather with you. The heron's feather is his gift to you, so you can carry that with you as a reminder of the joy in the discovery process. And as you re-emerge from the kingdom below, just come back into your body now. That feather is planted within you. You have it with you now. And as you just come back into your body, take a few deep breaths, really integrate the journey, integrate any lessons and points of awareness that have come through. And just allow yourself now to open your eyes. It's been a joy journeying with you. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to meditate with me, to lean into all expressions of yourself, to feel your full depths, and to trust yourself in that process. I hope you have a beautiful blue moon. I hope you have a beautiful start to the April season, to this really full-on expression of the spring season and this fertile time for new life, new discovery, and allowance of ourselves to go within, to lean into any areas in our life that we might want to shift or grow, or even just start to plant those seeds that will then blossom and bloom in the summer months ahead. So thank you. It's a joy as always. Once again, I'm Chef Kathryn with Vivacious Dish. Talk to you soon.